What's going on, guys? Steel here. Sorry that it's been somewhat sporadic with video output, but I'm trying to keep up with doing things. And so this is kind of going to be another sharpening video. What you see before you is obviously the Sharpmaker. If you're familiar with it, I'm assuming most everybody is going to be, except anybody who might be just beginning knives. And I've been hearing a lot of talk on forums, and I'm not trying to dispute or argue, but I've been hearing a lot of people talking on the forums about how the Sharpmaker is extremely limited. And I've heard some people saying as well that you can only use the angles that it comes set with. And some of that is, I think the Sharpmaker is a little bit limited from when you first buy it, which is with the fine and medium stones, if you ever have to do reprofiling. If you have to do reprofiling, the medium stones do not cut quickly, and so it takes a long time. Believe me, when I first was doing sharpening, I decided to try and completely reprofile a scrapyard knife with 154 cm. And not that 154 cm is particularly high in wear resistance anymore, but it took forever with just the medium stones. I mean, I literally had several hours. It was ridiculous. So, through my time that I've been into knives, from some reading on the forums from other people, I have came about some things that will definitely round out the Sharpmaker and make it more versatile and make it easily capable of reprofiling. So I'm just going to go over the few things. Some of it I've touched on before, but that was back before I had as many subscribers as I do now, so it's kind of a refresh. And so I have everything for the Sharpmaker except the diamond stones. I decided not to buy those. Instead, I decided to go with these stones you see right here. You can see they're very dirty and clogged right now. These are ruby stones by Congress Tools, and I believe they're like 320 grit, and I think they do, I don't remember grits right offhand. They go pretty low. I don't remember what they use as an abrasive. They're a pretty hard stone though, and they worked well for the reprofiling I did with them. And then after reading some on blade forums, Ankerson, who's a well-respected member, suggested, well, he was talking about these Moldmaster stones that he did his sharpening on, and I'd been wanting to dabble with freehand more, so I decided to get those. And I remembered seeing some people talking about buying those stones and then putting them onto the flats of the Sharpmaker. So that's what I've been doing. And the Moldmasters are a silicon carbide. I think that's right. And this 400, this is the 400 grit. This one is a 600. The 400 is a very hard stone, and it cuts really fast. I did a reprofile on CTS XHP, and that's twice I've fully done a reprofile. I used these ruby stones the first time on my military, and then the silicon carbide cut much faster. I mean, it cut the time in half to reprofile when I used it again. So they're definitely very advantageous there. And when I've been doing reprofiles, I haven't been taking them back to 30. I've been trying to take them back to, it's somewhat of an estimation, so 12 to 13 degrees per side. And I'll show you the one I reprofiled with the silicon carbide, and or they're kind of nicknamed 6 stones. And this I just did like 2 days ago. The edge has seen some use, so it's not as mirror finished as it was. But you can see I laid it quite back, and I did that with the silicon carbide. I did that with those Moldmaster stones. And as a comparison, because I think that might actually be close to 10 degrees, I'm not sure. You can see how much wider the bevel is rather than the Benchmade Griptilian, which was reprofiled. So, like I said, it went nice and quick with these stones, and I'll just show you how I did it as well. So pretty much I would, let me set these down here. I would take the Mold Master. You can see it's very thin. They're definitely brittle, so I mean I wouldn't just be tossing them around and stuff. And I just lay them flat on one of the Sharpmaker stones, and then I rubber banded it around and just made sure I had it sitting well. And then I do my sharpening with these by the sink. I just keep running a little water on the stone, and it goes by really quick. So kind of a long-winded discussion, and there's not, just to show you guys. So that's pretty much how I've been doing reprofiles. And the other point I want to get to is it's very cheap. You can get this 400 grit stone for $5 from Congress Tools, and like 2 of the rubies for like 15 shipped, I think. And what I'm gonna do as well, and when I get them I will do a video, they make the triangular stones like this that fit the Sharpmaker. They make them in the silicon carbide. So as you can see, these stones fit in the Sharpmaker. When I measured, I did it with a ruler, but I measured from the width of, like, between these two stones, it's like 6 inches from the base to the 6-inch mark on the, like, Spyderco's own stones. I really couldn't tell a difference in width. I know even though that a few centimeters could start to mean a few degrees or a degree or two. So that's why when I do my reprofiles, I just manually choose my angle. I estimate it, and I do like the Sharpie to try and make sure I'm keeping my bevels. So I actually tilt the knife in. That was the other point I wanted to make, that they're not just limited to the angles they come at. You can tilt your knife to meet up with the bevel. You know. So that's just some food for thought. I know it's a longer video, and I know not everybody likes the rambling sharpening ones, but hopefully that'll help. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will post the link in the description to Congress Tools website, and that'll give you guys all the browsing that you want. If you want to get the triangle stones, they are the 1/2 by 6 inch measurements. Oh, another note, the 600 stone I wouldn't suggest buying. I don't know what the difference is between just the 400, but when you get the 600 grit stone wet, it turns all mushy. Like, I don't think it would take much time at all for it to disintegrate. The 400 does not. And I also asked Ankerson about, like, flattening the stone, and I think he's been using it a while, and he hasn't had to flatten it, is what he told me yet. So they're obviously a very hard stone. So hopefully that helps some of you guys, and hopefully you found it interesting, and I will see you guys in the next video.